Your cat is in pain right now, and it is doing everything in its power to make sure you never find out. I want you to really sit with that for a second. The animal sleeping on your bed, the one that rubs your ankles when you come home, the one you would do anything for, it could be hurting at this very moment, and it is hiding it from you on purpose. Not to be cruel, not to punish you. It is hiding it because deep in its wiring, it believes that if it lets the pain show, it dies. Look, I'm going to show you the 7 silent signs that a cat in pain gives off. The small, easy-to-miss signals that 99 out of 100 owners walk right past every single day. And here's the thing that keeps me up at night, folks. By the time most people finally notice something is wrong, that cat has already been suffering for weeks, sometimes months. We're going to fix that today. I'm going to give you the 7th sign first, then the 6th, the 5th, and count all the way down because I am saving the number 1 sign for the end. The most urgent one, the one that means you stop the video, grab your keys, and go. But you have to earn your way down to it. So stay with me. I'm Dr. Aurelio. I've been the old-school cat vet in this town for longer than I care to admit, and I've watched more cats slip through the cracks than I can count. Not because their owners didn't love them, but because nobody ever taught those owners how to read a creature that was built from the ground up to lie about how it feels. Here's the one thing you have to understand before we start, and then I'll never make you sit through it again, because I know this channel has covered it before. Your cat is a prey animal. Out in the wild, a limping cat, a slow cat, a cat that whimpers. That cat is the one the hawk takes, the one the coyote picks off. So evolution made a deal with your cat millions of years ago. Hide the weakness, or die. And your fat, happy house cat, curled up on a heated blanket with a full bowl of food, still carries that ancient deal in its blood. It will mask pain until the mask physically cannot hold anymore. That's not stubbornness, that's survival. And it means the moment your cat finally does show you it hurts, it is already way further along than you think. Okay, let's start the countdown. The 7th sign, hiding, more than usual. Now cats hide, I know. Yours has that spot behind the couch, under the bed, on top of the closet. That's normal. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a change. A cat that used to greet you at the door, and now you find wedged behind the dryer at the back of the laundry room. A cat that always slept on your pillow and now vanishes into the darkest, tightest, coldest corner of the house and stays there. Pay attention to that word, change. That's the whole game today. Why does a hurting cat hide? Same ancient deal. A weak animal in the open is a dead animal. So when a cat feels vulnerable, and pain makes it feel vulnerable, its instinct screams, find a hole, get small, disappear. It's not sulking. It's not giving you attitude. It's protecting itself from a predator that isn't there, obeying a rule older than the pyramids. And notice the kind of spot it picks. A resting cat wants warmth and a view, the sunny windowsill, the top of the couch where it can watch the room. A herding cat wants the opposite. It wants dark, tight, enclosed, hard to reach, behind the water heater, deep under the bed against the wall, inside a closet you didn't even know it could open. It's picking a bunker, not a bed. How do you tell it apart from your cat just wanting a nap in peace? A cat resting is loose, relaxed. It'll blink at you. It'll come out for dinner. It'll respond to its name. It'll roll over when you scratch its chin. A cat hiding from pain is tense, tucked away in a spot it never used before, and it stays put even when the food bowl fills up and the can opener runs. That's the tell. A healthy cat's hiding has an off switch. Dinner, a toy, your voice. Pain hiding doesn't. What do? 7th sign, on its own. You watch, you note it, you give it a day or two, but you write it down in your head because it almost never comes alone, and everything after this stacks right on top of it and makes it heavier. The 6th sign, the coat. Your cat's fur is a report card, folks, and most people never read it. It goes one of 2 ways. Way 1, the grooming just stops. A cat that used to spend a third of its waking life licking itself smooth suddenly looks dull, greasy, clumpy. You'll see little triangles of matted fur, maybe some flakes of dandruff along the spine, especially back near the tail where it's hardest to reach. Way 2, and this one fools everybody, is the opposite. Obsessive licking of one single spot, over and over, the same patch, until the fur thins out or the skin goes bare and pink. Here's the why, and it's beautiful and sad at the same time. Grooming is work. It takes energy, it takes flexibility, and it takes a cat that feels well enough to care about its own appearance. A cat that hurts all over or that feels sick and low and drained doesn't have any of that to spare, and there's a specific, sneaky cause behind so many of these dull, unkempt coats in older cats. Arthritis in the spine and the hips. Think about the pretzel a healthy cat folds into to lick its own lower back and tail. Now imagine every one of those joints aching. The cat literally cannot twist to reach the back half of its body anymore, so that's exactly where the coat falls apart first. Greasy, spiky, matted right along the spine and around the base of the tail, while the front half still looks fine. That split is a giant clue. But that one obsessive spot? That's a cat trying to soothe pain it can't reach any other way. Licking releases a little comfort in the brain, so a cat with a sore hip, a sore belly, a sore bladder will lick right over that spot, trying to make it stop. It's self-medicating with its own tongue. How do you tell it from normal? Normal grooming leaves a smooth, even coat and moves all over the body. Pain grooming is either total neglect or laser-focused on one place. If you find a bald patch over a joint, over the belly, or right in front of the tail, that's not a fur problem. That's a pain problem wearing a fur costume. Get that one looked at. The fifth sign, the loaf that isn't cozy. You know the loaf. Paws tucked under, all 4 feet hidden, sitting like a little bread roll. Adorable usually. But there's a version of the loaf that is not adorable, and once you learn to see it, you will never unsee it. The pain loaf. The cat is hunched, not softly curled, but hunched, with the shoulders up higher than the back, the head hanging low, the eyes not fully open, and a stillness to it. A cozy loaf melts. It flops onto its side eventually. It stretches. It shifts. A pain loaf holds. It holds that exact tense posture for a long, long time because moving hurts, and lying flat on its side puts pressure on something that aches. Why the hunch? A cat with belly pain, the pancreas, the bladder, the intestines, doesn't matter which, pulls itself into that tight hunched loaf to take the weight and the pressure off its own aching abdomen, the same way you fold in half over your knees when your stomach is killing you. The tucked paws, the low-hanging head, the half-masked eyes, the shoulders riding up higher than the spine. That's not comfort. That's a body bracing against itself, minimizing every square inch it has to move. And here's a detail people miss. A healthy loafing cat will follow you with its eyes. Its ears will swivel toward sounds. It's still tuned into the room. A pain loaf goes internal. The cat stares at nothing. The ears go still or turn out. It's checked out, focused entirely on getting through the next minute. Tell it apart by the melt. Cozy melts, pain holds. A comfortable loaf is a temporary shape. Give it 10 minutes and it flops onto its side, rolls, stretches out a paw. A pain loaf is a fortress the cat won't leave. And if you walk right up to a loafing cat and it doesn't rearrange, doesn't stretch, doesn't blink up at you, doesn't do anything but sit there hunched and low and tight, that's your cue. That's not a nap. That's a cat riding out something that hurts. The fourth sign, the eyes and the whiskers. This is the one on the thumbnail, and this is the one I want you to memorize like your cat's life depends on it, because sometimes it does. Cats can't tell you where it hurts, but their face does. Scientists have actually mapped this. There's a real studied thing called the feline grimace scale that veterinarians use to measure pain just by looking at a cat's face, and you can learn the basics of it in about 30 seconds. Here's what you look for. The eyes squint, half closed, tight, like the cat is looking into a bright light that isn't there. The whiskers, instead of relaxing out to the sides in that loose, curious fan, either flatten back against the face or push forward all stiff and tense. The ears rotate out and down a little like tiny airplane wings. And the muzzle, the little area around the nose and mouth, gets tight and tense instead of soft. Put it together, and you get a face that just looks pinched, pained, worried. Why does this happen? Because pain fires up the same facial muscles in a cat that it does in you. You squint and grimace when you stub your toe without deciding to, and so does your cat. It's involuntary. It's honest. It's one of the only honest things a hiding animal can't fully control. Tell it apart from a sleepy, content cat. A happy cat's slow blink is loose and soft, the whiskers relaxed, the whole face melted. A pain squint is tight, and it comes with the flat whiskers and the tense muzzle. When you see that pinched face, squinted eyes, flattened whiskers, worried muzzle, hold it up against the calm, blinky face your cat makes when it's happy. If they look different, trust the difference. Now hang with me, because we're getting into the top 3, and this is where it gets serious. The third sign, reluctance to jump, reluctance to climb, the hesitation before the couch. Watch your cat approach the furniture it has jumped onto 10,000 times. A healthy cat flows up onto the counter like water going the wrong way. A cat in pain pauses. It gathers itself. It looks up, it shifts its weight, it maybe reaches up with the front paws first to test it. And sometimes it just doesn't. It picks the ottoman instead of the couch, the chair instead of the bed. Or it makes the jump but lands heavy and stiff instead of silent. This is arthritis, folks, and here's the number that stops people cold. Studies have found that the vast majority of cats over the age of 10 have arthritis showing up in their joints on an X-ray. The great majority of senior cats, and almost none of their owners, have any idea, because cats don't limp the way a dog does. A dog with a sore leg cries, favors it, makes it obvious. A cat with sore joints does something much sneakier. It just quietly stops doing the things that hurt, one at a time, so slowly that you never notice a single day it changed. The high shelf it used to rule from, gone. The morning zoomies, gone. The leap up onto your desk while you work, replaced with sitting on the floor by your feet, looking up. And because it happened over months, you filed it under he's just getting older, he's calmed down, he's mellow now. Your cat isn't getting lazy in its old age. Your cat is in pain and editing its own life down to only the moves that don't hurt, and calling it a personality change. How do you tell it from a cat that's just mellowing out? Watch the takeoff and the landing. Hesitation before a jump it used to make without thinking. A two-step approach where there used to be one clean leap, a heavy, stiff landing, choosing the low road when the high road was always its favorite spot. That's joints. That one earns a vet visit because there is so much we can do for it now, and no cat should spend its last years aching in silence when help exists. The second sign, the purr that isn't happiness. This one breaks people's hearts when I explain it, so brace yourself. We are all taught that a purring cat is a happy cat, and most of the time, sure. But a purr is not a smile. A purr is a frequency, a low, steady vibration a cat can make whether it feels good or terrible. And cats purr when they are frightened, when they are giving birth, when they are dying in my arms on the table. It's called a stress purr, a self-soothing purr, and it is one of the most heartbreaking things I know about these animals. Why would an animal purr in pain? Because that vibration actually calms its own body down. There's real evidence that the low frequencies in a purr help with healing and with self-comfort, that the purr is, in part, a self-repair mechanism a cat carries around inside its own chest. So a cat in distress reaches for it. It purrs to soothe itself, the same way a scared kid hums in the dark, the same way you might rock back and forth when everything hurts. It's not lying to you when it does this. It's comforting itself in the only way it knows how, and you happen to be standing there hearing it. How on earth do you tell a happy purr from a hurting one? Context. Context is everything. A happy purr comes with a loose body, a cat kneading and rubbing, a soft face, a cat that sought you out. A stress purr comes wrapped in everything else on this list. The hunched loaf, the squinted eyes, the hiding, the tense body. If your cat is purring but its face is pinched and its body is tight and it's tucked in a corner it never used before, that purr is not saying I'm happy. That purr is saying I'm trying to hold myself together. Learn to hear the difference and read the whole cat, not just the sound. Which brings us to number 1, the most urgent one, the one I made you wait for. The number 1 sign, a sudden change in temperament. A cat that flinches, hisses, growls, swats, or bites when you touch it or pick it up. Especially a cat that is normally gentle, normally sweet, normally the one that flops over for belly rubs. When a cat that has never once raised a paw at you suddenly snaps when you go to lift it, or cries out when you touch a certain spot, or turns and bites the hand it has loved for years, that is not your cat being moody. That is not a bad day. That is acute pain, and it is often severe, and it is often sudden. Here's why it matters more than everything else on this list. Every other sign we covered is the slow burn, the weeks-long quiet erosion of a cat hiding a growing ache. But a normally gentle cat that suddenly bites when touched, that's the mask ripping off. That's a cat in so much pain, so fast, that a million years of survival wiring, the wiring that says never show weakness, gets overridden by a scream the animal can't hold in anymore. A cat lashes out to protect a part of its body that hurts, because in that moment, its only language is get away from the pain. When the mask breaks like that, the thing underneath is bad. A blocked bladder, especially in a male cat straining and crying and unable to pass urine, can kill in a day or two, and it is an agony you can see in their whole body. A sudden injury, a clot, an obstruction. These are the run-out-the-door emergencies. So here is the line I need you to hold on to. Signs 7 through 2. Hiding. The coat, the loaf, the face, the jumping, the purr. Those you watch, you note, and you call your veterinarian to make an appointment, especially when 2 or 3 of them stack up together. But sign number 1, a normally gentle cat flinching, hissing, or biting from being touched or lifted, or crying out in pain, that one is not a wait and see. That one is a call your veterinarian now, tonight. This is an emergency. Don't wait for morning. Don't talk yourself out of it. Go. And let me say the thing the internet won't tell you, because it's true. Never, and I mean never, reach into your own medicine cabinet for this. The pain relievers sitting in your bathroom right now, the acetaminophen, the ibuprofen, the aspirin, those can kill a cat fast, even in a tiny amount. Acetaminophen is straight up poison to them. There is no human painkiller you can safely guess a dose of for a cat, ever. If your cat is hurting, the only right move is to ask your veterinarian the right treatment and the right amount for your cat's weight and health. Anything else can turn a treatable pain into a dead cat, and I have seen it happen to people who were only trying to help. Now I need you to hear the other half of this, because I don't ever want to leave you scared. Pain is a symptom. It is not a diagnosis. Seeing one of these signs does not mean your cat is dying. It means your cat is telling you something, in the only quiet language it has, and you finally learned how to listen. That is a gift. Most cats never get an owner who can read them. Yours just did. You are not a bad owner for missing this before today. Nobody handed you the manual for an animal that was designed to fool you. The old-timers who kept cats their whole lives learned this the slow way, cat after cat, and passed it down as instinct. And tonight, in 20 minutes, you learned it on purpose. So the next time your cat goes quiet in the wrong way, you'll catch it early enough to matter, and you'll do right by the little life that trusts you more than it will ever let you see. So do that. Go find your cat right now, wherever it's curled up, and really look at it. The eyes, the whiskers, the way it's sitting, the way it moves toward you. And do me one favor down in the comments. Tell me which of these 7 signs surprised you the most, or the one you think you've been seeing and brushing off. Because somebody else reading it might just recognize their own cat in your words, and that's how we catch it in time.